to the cable. "See you on the other side." She pushed off. Halfway across the cable, she heard a popping sound. Then the cable fell away and she was free-falling. Fingers of panic locked around her throat. At some level, she'd heard the screams from the guests behind her, but there wasn't a moment to waste on them. Seeing the canopy of a large tree beneath her, she hoped for the best as she landed on the leafy branches. Her momentum threatened to push her off the other side, dropping into the valley below, but she somehow managed to grab onto a tree branch with both hands, hanging on with every ounce of strength she possessed. She was lying on her stomach, hoping the tree branches beneath her would hold up under the pressure. "Darby!" Teddy screamed her name from the platform behind her, but her position was such that she didn't want to move. She could barely breathe for fear of falling the rest of the way to the ground. "We're getting out of here!" the woman shrieked. "This isn't safe!" Darby couldn't reassure them even if she wanted to. Never in her life had she experienced something like this. These cables were strong enough to hold up to 250 pounds, and she weighed in at 125. She'd worked this park for the past several years without an issue. What on earth had happened? Moving very carefully, she turned her head to look behind her. She was too far away to see what had happened to the cable anchored into the pole holding up the platform. Teddy had gotten the family of 5 down to the ground and was hopefully getting their manager to call the fire department to rescue her. Thankfully, the first zip line is the shortest and the lowest of them, or she knew she would have suffered severe injuries. Still could if the tree branches beneath her gave way before she was rescued. A flash of movement below caught her eye. A man moving through the trees. She frowned, a chill washing over her. Had the cable been tampered with on purpose? No, she was letting her imagination run away with her. Wasn't she? The park was full of tourists. "Get a grip, Darby," she silently admonished. There was no reason for anyone to hurt her. Maybe in the past, in the days when she was associated with drugs, but not anymore. The sound of a cracking tree branch made her freeze. How long would it take for the fire department to get here? She tried to peer through the dense leaves to get an estimate of where the larger branches were. She'd hiked the wooden trails more times than she could count, but she hadn't spent much time climbing trees. Not even as a kid. Living with a preacher, a horrible, evil man who'd physically and verbally abused her and her foster siblings, had not included fun activities like tree climbing. Quite the opposite. They'd knelt for hours on end, listening to the preacher yell and scream at them for being sinners, warning of God's fury. They'd slept in the cellar and were only allowed to do household chores and homework from Ruth, the preacher's wife, who'd homeschooled them. Another branch gave way beneath her, and she tightened her grip on the branch that had broken her fall. No point in thinking about the past now. She needed to be rescued, and quickly. Leo needed her, and she needed him. "Hang in there, Darby," Teddy called. "They're coming soon." "I'm doing my best. What happened?" "It looks like there's damage in the pole around the spot where the cable was bolted in," Teddy said. Damage? Like someone tampered with it on purpose? How did we miss that? "Think the damage was camouflaged in some way." Teddy's voice sounded muffled now, as if he was facing the opposite way. "Kent is pretty upset." Kent Jacobs was their boss and the manager of the great outdoor adventure park. He was a decent guy, although he generally focused on making a profit. She knew he was likely more upset about losing the revenue from the zip line than her fall. The next hour seemed to go by in the blink of an eye. The fire truck arrived, and a fireman emerged in her line.